What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with a big breaking news, and this one is from Carlos Thomas Jr. And it is a very early retirement, which is something nobody expected. Now in a way, he took the literal advice of Shaun, who actually told Carlos to retire after Carlos did not place as per his own expectations earlier this year at the Arnold and also Detroit Pro. So the major reason that he gave about his retirement, that was the things he was missing in his life as he was trying to be the best bodybuilder in the world, and that's the sole thing he was focused on for major part of the past couple of years. Now bodybuilding is something that does do that to you, so props to him and massive respect for this decision. And let's be real here, there are some guys in the pro ranks that we all know who also need to take this same step before it's too late. The thing is, I'm not gonna mention any names, but the fans out there, they all know who I'm talking about. Because what most of them are doing at this point is risking some years of their life by constantly using gear, which is something that's always gonna have some consequences, no matter what you do, no matter how safe you are. Yes, as a fan, it was a bad news as Carlos had some of the most amazing genetics among all of these up-and-coming guys that we saw in the recent past. But the fact is, he was unable to find the right formula to get his condition right. On top of that, he was facing some health concerns, especially when he was very close to that contest-ready shape. And that was also one of the reasons why he was unable to get truly peeled and ripped to the bone. So the placing at Detroit Pro this year, that was the one that must have broken his spirit as a pro bodybuilder, because he was outside of that top 5 in a show which had a weak lineup, which is something that he did not expect. That is why setting up some realistic expectations, especially when you are coming up, that is very important. Now, even to this day, we still have no idea who in his camp told him that it was realistic for him to think that he's gonna be fighting for the top 3 at his first ever Arnold, and that too in such a deep kind of lineup with Derek Sampson and Andrew Jacked, also Brendan Carey, who was top 4. And Carlos was comparing himself with a guy like Derek, that he would love to have a comparison with now the reigning Olympia champion. So now that Carlos has closed this chapter of his life, we wish him a very happy retirement and good luck for the next phase of his life. His pro debut at the Texas Pro 2023, when he battled it out against the likes of Andrew Jacked and Hunter Labrada, that was the best look of his small pro career. So what did you guys think of Carlos's decision? Now there are certain reports in the media which are also suggesting that he did not retire. He just chose to step away from professional bodybuilding and social media for a while. Well, we will get more clarification, probably today or maybe tomorrow. Before you scroll or blink too hard, have you subscribed yet? Please don't make me bring out the emotional blackmail. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell icon. It's free, it's painless, and that makes me look way cooler than I actually am. So the giant killer Shaun, he posted a full physique update when he was about 8 days out from this upcoming Japan Pro. So he has the nickname, the giant killer, for a reason. The skin looks super thin. He looks detailed and grainy and pretty damn awesome everywhere. And no one can dispute that Shaun has some of the most dense looking muscles in the pro league right now. So at 42, he just gave Keon Pearson a serious run for his money at this past Olympia. And this guy loves to compete, and apparently he likes to do more shows in the open than in the 212. For the record, this is Shaun's 3rd men's open show of this calendar year. And anyone thinking that Shaun is quote-unquote a small guy, especially in this upcoming Japan Pro lineup, then I have got to say they are seriously underestimating the potential of Shaun. Now we have no idea how him and John Jewett, they did the unthinkable. He's walking around 180 pounds with bare proportions that he has ever had. So going back 2 years, Shaun competing as low as in the high 160s, and when he tried to come in a bit fuller, a bit bigger, we saw him having a bloated midsection. So not only Shaun brought his biggest but also his best ever at this past Olympia, where everything was superb. The legs, the midsection, everything looked amazing. So his look at Mexico Pro, that wasn't as impressive as his Olympia look, because he was holding water, and his midsection, that wasn't polished enough. But we might see the very best of Shaun this weekend at Japan Pro. So Shaun might very well be the one pushing Joan Pradells for the first place win tomorrow. But let me know what you guys think. Can Shaun win this show? So the updates that Charles Griffin was posting in the last few weeks, he was continuously talking about gaining weight, but there was no confirmation on what his future competition plans are. And today he just made it official that 2026 is gonna be the year when we will see Charles Griffin back on the stage one more time. So we have to keep in mind, this is a 3 times Olympian we are talking about. And not just any Olympian. He has been top 10 in the world back in 2023. And that was with an injured pec. So that just goes to show us how competent and consistent Charles Griffin was in his prime. So the Olympia 2023, that was also the last show that he did. And the rough patch that he faced in his career, that all started with Charles trying to rep 170 pounds for incline press, and that resulted in a chest tear. So he had a really perfect physique, especially for his frame, back in 2022, because that was the year that made a very massive difference in his overall physique because of the implementation of the vacuum. And his front shorts and also his side shorts, they started to look very good. So looking back at different videos, when he was all big and peeled, you can see how detailed and grainy Charles was. So he did downsized in the past couple of years, as he was kind of uncertain about his future as a competitive bodybuilder. But now that the man is back, it will be interesting to see how he shows up on the stage in 2026, especially with a whole bunch of new, young, up-and-coming talent who are all very hungry to get to that Mr. Olympia stage. So the former Olympia champion and the 2 times Arnold champion Brendan Carey, he doesn't post much. Sometimes he does post some training updates, but not physique updates. But whenever he does that, he's that same round 3D looking guy, no matter what phase of the year it is for him. So Carey had a run of more than 15 years and the man is still going. And you can see that his training style, that has changed a lot, especially at this phase of his career. And that is actually working wonderfully in his favor. Not many people out there, they gave him the credit that he deserved at this past Olympia too. He 100% deserved to beat the mutant Nick Walker and place in the top 6. But still, it was arguably one of the best versions of Brendan Carey that we saw in the recent past. And it was a way of Brendan clapping back on all his critics who all predicted that Brendan will slowly move out of the top 10 from the open Olympia lineup. So the quads on Carey from the front, they are still pretty damn awesome. His side shorts, they're also super deadly because of that big hamstring drop. I just wish he could bring up his legs from the back. Still, one of the most aesthetic physique in the open class even right now. And maybe he will decide to jump into a show like Dubai Pro, as he has a legit shot at winning 140 grand tax-free money in that particular contest. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.